Hi, everyone. I'm Vincent Joe.
Hi, I'm Kathy Reed.
And I'm Allison Reed.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Grace.
We're from the Haydenettes.
I am Mark Henretti.
Ciao a tutti, siamo Rebecca Ghirardi
e Filippo Ambrosini
e vi diamo il benvenuto a
This Week in Skating.
Welcome to This Week in Skating, the weekly podcast bringing you the latest news from the world of figure skating. Here are your hosts, Daphne, Gina, and Matteo.
Welcome back. I'm calling this week the calm before the Grand Prix Storm, this past week that we just had, because the Grand Prix starts this week, Matteo. The Grand Prix.
Can you believe it?
Like, how?
We finished the Junior Grand Prix and we're starting the Senior Grand Prix. And actually, do you remember that at some point we thought that it was actually a week in between? But no, it's back to back.
Yes. Didn't they always give us a week in between? Why all of a sudden now they're back to back? I could have used a week in between. But it is what it is. The Grand Prix is starting, and it's not with Skate America. It's with Grand Prix de France. You're not going to be at France, right? Unfortunately?
No, unfortunately. Yeah.
But
it's a shame. It's got a nice location, but, you know, work, life, we cannot do everything.
Right. Well, we will talk about that in a little bit, and we're going to talk about the JGP being over. That 7 weeks went by fast. And because now this is it. I mean, it's it. The Grand Prix starting this season is in full swing. If you didn't think it was, well, it is. I don't know what more to say. So let's kick it off. Matteo, you want to start with some general skating news?
Let's do it. So let's start with Grand Prix assignment. Yulia Ciccetinina and Michael Wozniak have been assigned to Skate Canada.
Well, we have some unfortunate news here. Nina Petrokina has withdrawn from Grand Prix de France and has been replaced by Jia Shin. Nina posted on Instagram that she's taking a short break from competition while she goes through some medical treatments. So fingers crossed for Nina, and hope we get to see her this season and that everything goes well with those medical treatments. Today, the day we're recording this podcast, which is Monday, Camden Pulkkinen announced that he is withdrawn from Cup of China, his only Grand Prix event. He posted that given the current state of his back injury, that it would not be the best decision for his health to go out and compete. So, hoping Camden is going to be able to compete this season, and hopefully, he recovers here soon from this back injury. And then just before we recorded, the news came out from Naomi Maria Talley and Noah Lafanara were supposed to compete this week at Mezzaluna Cup, but they withdrew due to Lafanaro recovering from an injury sustained before Lombardia Trophy, and they're hoping to get back to competition soon. So it's unfortunate when these injuries happen just as we are approaching the big events for this Olympic season. So wishing everyone a good recovery, and we hope we get to see all of the skaters I just mentioned really soon.
Let's talk about something a little different. So the ISU has launched the ISU Home of Skating app, which is an all-in-one hub for everything ice skating. The app will have live scores, event updates, exclusive content, and athlete insight, and is available on both iOS and Android. We're going to put links in our show notes. And it's quite interesting, Gina, isn't it? Because when we are there as media, we are actually given access to an app where we get content. And now it seems like everyone will be able to access something similar to what we get, which is great.
Yeah. And I haven't fooled around with this app yet, but I know I've seen stuff online where people are saying, skaters are with the wrong country, and and there's some glitches or mistakes that are in this app, so maybe they still need to do some updating to it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that one app for everything this season. Well, Julia Sauter has received her Romanian citizenship, which this is great. She earned 1 Olympic spot for Romania in the ladies event with her 19th place finish at the 2025 World Championships. So love that she got her citizenship and she is able to compete at the Olympics. Well, we do have some sad news to pass along, and I don't know if many people knew him or are familiar with Peter Murray. Peter Murray was known to many as Blazing Blades. He had passed away last week. Peter was a retired Navy journalist, and he started Blazing Blades blog on Xenia. Now, Xenia was way before social media, way before WordPress, so some people may remember it. I remember it. He then later transitioned to WordPress and expanded it to include a daily posting of all the skating media articles and videos that came out that day. And he was also very active on social media, following along each competition. So it's sad that Peter has passed and he won't be a presence this season. I reached out to him several years ago when I wasn't seeing my articles appearing in his listings, and he was very nice. And then he started adding FSO articles to the listing. So sending our condolences to Peter's family.
Right, shall we dive into events results? And let's start with the Junior Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi, which was the last Junior Grand Prix, as we said. So we now know everyone that qualified for the Grand Prix final. But let's start off with the men at this event. Lucius Kazanecki of the United States won his first Junior Grand Prix gold medal and secured a spot at the final, having won a bronze medal earlier this season. He was fourth after the short program, but had the highest technical base in the free skate, completing a clean quad toe loop, triple toe loop combination. He was the only man in the event to attempt a quad. Denis Kroglev of Belgium won the silver medal, moving up from third after the short and earning a spot at the final. And Sena Takahashi of Japan won the bronze medal, falling from first place after the short program. He popped one of his triple axels into a single and doubled a loop. This cost him a return trip to the final as he dropped to the first alternate position. So the men's qualifiers for the final are Ryo Nakata and Taiga Nishino from Japan, Minkyu Seo and Abin Choi from Korea, Lucius Kazanecki from the United States, Denis Kroglov of Belgium, and the alternates are Sena Takahashi of Japan, Patrick Blackwell of the United States, and Genrich Gartung of Germany.
Moving on to the women, Mao Shimada continued her incredible win streak with another gold. She was wearing a Madison Chalk design for her free skate dress, and she did a perfect triple axel and only had one mistake on her opening triple flip. No surprise how well Mao Shimada is doing. Again, wish we could be seeing her on the senior level next year. Next year. Indeed.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Hannah Beth of Australia won the silver, completing 2 triple axels in her free skate, one in combination with the triple toe loop. She is only the 7th woman in history to complete this combination cleanly. Her silver is also the first Junior Grand Prix medal for Australia since 2000. I gotta share that Anne called me about Hannah. She was like, "Did you see Hannah? Everyone's talking about her." So she has got a new favorite to be watching. And I thought that was cute. Because Anne, for most people, I mean, people know Anne follows ice dance, and she rarely follows the other disciplines as closely as she does ice dance. So to hear that she has someone to follow in another discipline is always, I love it when she says that she's got someone she wants to follow. Sophia Schifrin of Israel won the bronze, her second Junior Grand Prix medal this season. Now, the women qualifiers for the final include twin sisters from Korea and 4 members of Team Japan. And I actually tweeted that. I was like, it's the sisters and Team Japan. So Mao Shimada, Mayuko Oka, Mei Okada, and Sumaka Kanekawa of Japan, and then the twin sisters Yuje Kim and Yusong Kim of Korea. So again, Team Japan against the Kim sisters. The alternates are Hannah Bath of Australia, So Yoojin Yoon of Korea, and Sophie Jolene von Felten of the United States.
It's almost like not exactly the same, but you remember last year's Grand Prix final in the senior women's? It was Amber Glenn versus Japan.
Yes.
So we are kind of seeing the same there.
Yeah, and then even, we mentioned it last week, the Junior Grand Prix final qualifiers for pairs is China and Canada.
Very interesting. Right, let's move on to ice dance. Anna Maria Boyan and Daniil Veselukin of the United States won their second gold medal of the season, earning personal best scores in both the rhythm dance and the free dance and breaking the 100 mark in the free dance. They are headed to the first Junior Grand Prix final as the top qualifier. Dania Moeden and Théo Bigot of France won the silver, which is their second of the season and allows them to also secure their spot in the final. Zoe Bianchi and Danielle Basile of Italy captured the bronze, which is their second Junior Grand Prix medal of the season. Twins Clara and Warren Fugate, the 2025 US Novice Pewter medalists, finished 7th in their Junior Grand Prix debut. So the ice dance qualifiers for the final are Anna Maria Boyan and Daniil Veselukin of the United States, Irina Pitkaina and Artem Kovalev of Ukraine, Laila Valen and Alexander Brandis of Canada, Amber Pierre Janesini and Samuel Blanc Klapperman of France, Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner of the United States, Dania Moden and Théo Bigot of France. The alternates are Charlie Anderson and Kaiden Dawson of Canada, Zoe Bianchi and Daniel Basile of Italy, and Summer Homik and Nicolas Buelov of Canada.
Well, moving on to Trialeti Trophy, a Challenger Series event for the first time. We have not had this event before. The trophy actually was in the Kiss and Cry. I don't know if people saw it. And Golden Skate tweeted out, it's a golden cup on a natural onyx base weighing over 3 kilos. It was inspired by a 4,000-year-old golden cup from the ancient Trialeti civilization, which is now kept in the Georgian National Museum. The original was discovered almost a century ago in the Bronze Age of Kurgans of Trialeti. There was also a mountain range silhouette in the Kiss and Cry and for the medal ceremony. It was really cool. And since this event was held in Georgia, Georgia won all 4 disciplines, and there were a lot of changes in the placement between short program and free skate for most of the disciplines. But we'll start with the men. Prior to the competition, Japan's Sota Yamamoto withdrew due to a worsening back injury. The withdrawal came before the men's short program, and he was there in practice the day before. Kilaro Marzak of Ukraine withdrew after the short program due to food poisoning. Now, the men did do some menning in the free skate. After winning the silver medal last week at Dennis 10 Trophy, Nika Agazzi took home the gold medal in Trialeti Trophy. Now, he will compete next week at Grand Prix de France. So that's 3 events in a row. It's quite impressive here. We'll see how he does next week, but he seems to be doing pretty good so far this season. After winning the bronze medal last week at Dennis 10, Jason Brown took home the silver medal in Trialeti Trophy, so he did back-to-back competitions, but he is not going to France next week. Tomoki Hiwatashi took the bronze medal, moving up from 5th after the short program. He and Jason posted about sharing the podium together for the first time since the 2020 U.S. Championships, and I did find a photo of them on the podium from the 2020 U.S. Championships, and so I did share that with them. Alexander Selefko of Estonia, who was in 3rd after the short program, finished 9th overall, and Arlette Lavandi, who was in 8th after the short program, finished 4th.
Let's move on with the women. Anastasia Gubanova took home the gold medal in the women's event, winning by more than 17 points. Israel Maria Senyuk, who finished 4th at Nepela Memorial 2 weeks ago, moved up from 5th place to claim the silver medal. Hein Lee, who won gold last week at Dennis 10 Memorial, was 3rd in both segments and therefore finished 3rd overall. Italy's Anna Pizzetta, who won the silver at Nepela Memorial, dropped from 2nd after the short program and finished 4th overall. Ha-Seon Yoon, who won silver at Dennis 10 last week, was 5th in Georgia. And finally, Star Andrews, who was 4th after the short program, finished 12th overall, and Ava Maria Ziegler, who was 16th after the short program, moved up to 10th overall.
Well, in the pairs event, disappointment for Team USA's Regan Moss and Jacob Gavalvi, who were supposed to make their senior pairs international debut at Trialeti Trophy this week. The team did arrive in Georgia, but had to withdraw because Jacob's skates went astray. He didn't have the skates all week, but they were eventually located, but he wouldn't get them in time for the short program. The team posted about that on their Instagram page. It's awful when these skaters get to the locations and then their luggage with their skates doesn't arrive. It's like everyone's worst nightmare. I mean, I'm always nervous about my stuff not arriving when I travel, but to imagine the thing you need, not getting
I feel like they should do like classical music orchestras when they travel. Normally, I think they have their instruments with them on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them, depending on the size of the instrument, of course. And I think that they should be allowed to get skate on the plane with them. But I suppose that there are also blades, and maybe for security reasons, that's not going to happen easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always, Roman Sadovsky had the worst with it one season. So it's everyone's worst nightmare. And we also had Daria Danilova and Mikhail Tezba withdraw after the short program due to an injury. Now, as I said before, Georgia won in all of the disciplines. So Anastasia Metakina and Luka Baruvala won the event by almost 17 points over Germany's Minerva Fabian Hasse and Nikita Volodin, the reigning world silver medalists. Emily Chan and Spencer Howe earned a personal best short program score of 71.17, which was third in the short program. They did manage to secure the bronze medal despite a fourth place free skate. Karina Akapova and Nikita Rakhmanian finished fourth overall, fourth in the short program, but third in the free skate. Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea made their season debut and finished in fifth in all segments.
Let's look at the ice dance. So a second straight gold medal for Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin after earning a gold medal at the Dennis Ten Memorial event. They earned new season's best in all three segments, and their free dance and total score were also new personal best scores. Dennis and Smokin are competing this week at the Grand Prix de France. Australia's Holly Harris and Jason Chan took the silver medal. They moved up from fourth in the rhythm dance and set new personal best scores in the free dance, which is the second best free dance of the event. Loisia de Mogeo and Théo Lemercier, who were in second after the rhythm dance, took the bronze. And lastly, Great Britain's Phoebe Beckler and James Hernandez, who were in third after the rhythm dance, finished fourth overall. So let's look at another few events that took place. So quickly mentioning the 2025 Blackburn Trophy, which is a solo dance event. In the senior field, Aurora Coloan of Italy won the senior event. And in the junior, Anna Maria Kieslitlin of Great Britain won the junior event.
We also had the Tayside Trophy taking place. In the senior women's event, Team USA's Alina Bonello, who is only competing in her second international event on the senior level, won the event. Team USA's Alexa Gasparotto did move up from sixth to win the silver medal. In the senior men's event, Jari Kessler of Belgium won the men's event, moving up from sixth after the short program. And in senior pairs, Sarah Conti and Nicolo Machi won the event.
Also, the 2025 Budapest Trophy took place, so let's quickly look at the winners in each category. This event did not have pairs, so the men's winner was Landry Lemay of France. The women's winner was Poland's Ekaterina Kurakova. Canada's Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga made their season debut in ice dance, winning the event. We also want to mention Millie Colling and Emma Alto. They are the first same-sex couple competing in Europe representing Finland. They won the bronze medal at the Finnish national qualifier for ice dance. So congratulations for the two of them for making history.
Yeah, very cool. We'll also check out our show notes for Javala Cup, the ISU International Adult Competition, the World Figure and Fancy Skating Championships, and the 2025 New Zealand Figure Skating Championships. Well, moving on to the upcoming events for the week, we said it at the beginning of the show. It's the Grand Prix season. We're starting off with Grand Prix de France, which seems totally weird because it should be Skate America, but it's not. We're starting out in France, and we will preview a little bit of what we can expect in each discipline. So in the men, Ilya Malinin and Adam Siho-Himfa will face off again after both competing at Lombardia last month. So we will get to see the two of them going head-to-head. We'll also see Max Naumoff and Andrew Torgashev, who are both hoping to nab a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. They're going to kind of go head-to-head here, but I think they're kind of hoping just to skate well and definitely, continue a good trajectory towards the Olympic season. The men's field also includes Nika Gazzi, who I said earlier is doing his third event in a row, so we will have to see if there is any tiredness to him, and if he's going to skate as well as he's been skating in the past two events. We also will see Lukas Brischke of Switzerland and Kao Miura of Japan.
In the women's, we are going to see Kaori Sakamoto headlining the field, and she leads a strong group of Japanese women here. In fact, Emi Nakai and Ryon Sumiyoshi are both there. They medaled at Lombardia Trophy and are part of the tough battle for the Japanese Olympic team. This is going to be Emi's Grand Prix debut. Isabel Levito, who skated well in her two challenger events, and Elise Lynn Gracie will represent the United States, while Korea will send Jaeyoung Kim, Young Yu, and Jia Shin, who is making her senior Grand Prix debut.
Well, in the pairs event, two world champion pair teams will meet. Deanna Stiletto-Dudek and Maxim Deschamps, and Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kiara have an early season showdown. Making their Grand Prix debut will be Audrey Shin and Balazs Naj, and they will be joined by Katie McBeath and Daniel Parkman of the U.S.
In the dance, it is a stacked dance event with two world medalist teams and an Olympic champion included. Crazy. So Laurence Fournier-Boudry and Guillaume Cizeron make their Grand Prix debut as well as their international debut as a team, going up against Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson and Charlene Guignard and Marco Fabri, who we haven't seen yet this season. So it's very unusual for them to not be to not have started the season at Lombardia Trophy.
Yeah, and we just found out their program music.
Yes.
A Backstreet Boys for the rhythm dance.
Also included in the field are Marie-Jade Lorian and Romain Legac, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin, who are also completing for the third week in a row, so Team Georgia is really going for it. Alison Reed and Salius Ambrulevicius, Emily Bratti and Ian Somerville, and Eva Pate and Logan Bai. Now, shall we just say that we're hoping to be joined by a journalist next week, which is going to help us review the Grand Prix of France. So stay tuned and don't miss next week's episode.
Yes, and it's not Matteo, because we know Matteo is not going to France.
Right, let's continue with Mezzaluna Cup 2025, which is going to take place in Mentana, Italy. So this is an ice dance only event, and there are large rosters in both the senior and junior events. In the senior, we are hoping to see Julia Turkila and Mattia Versuelis, who will be making their season debut. Other entries include Yuka Oriara and Yo Pirinen, Phoebe Becker and James Hernandez, Emi Kui and Jonathan Rogers, Rafaela Koncius and Alexei Shepetov, and Vanessa Pham and Anton Spirinarov. In the junior, two top US teams on the Junior Grand Prix this season will face off. They are Anna Maria Aboyan and Daniil Veselukin, and Jasmine Robertson and Chase Runner. So that's going to be quite exciting. Other entries include Zoe Bianchi and Daniel Basile, and Arianna Soldati and Nicolas Tagliabue, which are both Junior Grand Prix medalists this season. The town of Mentana in Italy is also going to host the 2025 Danza Gara Nazionale, which is a solo dance international and interclub partner dance event. Other events this week include the Lounakeskus, apologies if I misspelled that, Trophy 2025 in Estonia, and a few more. So there's going to be Diamond Spin in Poland, 2025 Skate Ontario Selection Series in Ontario, and the Japanese Novice Nationals in Yokohama, Japan.
We got a lot going on again this week, but of course, all eyes will be on the Grand Prix in France.
Indeed, yeah.
Well, moving on to some online updates. CGTN Sports Scene, it's a sports TV show in China, posted training clips of Sui and Han on Twitter and indicated they will be competing on the Grand Prix this season. You could only see like a few snippets here and there, but we saw them on the ice, and that's more than we've seen at all since they announced they were coming back. So we'll have to wait and see if we see them on the Grand Prix here. And some baby news. Former U.S. skater Tim Dolinsky and his wife, Sarah, who is a former Disney on Ice cast member, welcomed their second son this week. Jesse Dalton Dolinsky was born on October 9th, and he joins big brother Oliver, who will be 2 in December.
Now, as you know, we'd like to mention articles that have been published over the last week. We're not going to mention everything. You will find links in our show notes, but the ones that we want to mention are an article about Goku Endo getting to compete in front of his grandparents in Japan that was posted on US Figure Skating, and Reed Ambrulevicius's Olympic Dream finally comes true, which was posted on the ISU.
Well, we've reached the end of our planned content. And we'd like to end each episode by shining a lens on what is going on at This Week in Skating, IceDance.com, and Figure Skaters Online. So, Matteo, what is going on at This Week in Skating?
So we are in the process of finding a new vendor for our store, so stay tuned. And as always, a reminder that you can join us on our Patreon for access to ad-free episodes. And we posted a special episode with Maura Sullivan about her new book that she published. So make sure you don't miss that as well.
Yes. And pre-order her book. Comes out November 4th. But check it out. We'll put a link again in the show notes.
Quickly looking at IDC, we have photos from Trialeti Trophy and US National Solo Dance photos pics from Melanie. New Team Series article on Anna McKenzie and Wesley Lockwood, who represent Sweden, and photos from the Grand Prix de France and Japan Novice Championships are coming.
Well, over at FSO, I posted a special photo shoot with Ilya Malinin and Jacob Sanchez. This just kind of happened. Robin was doing some photos of Jacob, because as I've mentioned on the podcast, I'm working on Jacob's website, and Ilya happened to show up, so they took some photos together, and I posted the special photo gallery. It's getting a lot of hits, so if you haven't gone and seen it, it's a lot of fun. Go check it out. I will be doing, once again, the Grand Prix tracker, keeping a track of who's competing, how they did, as they prepare to qualify for the final. And in the week ahead, I will have photos and a recap from Grand Prix de France. So, this is the end of the episode. We made it through, and I think both of us need to take a little break before we may have had to stop a couple times while we were recording this episode. So we need a little break before the Grand Prix season starts. It's the calm before the Grand Prix storm.
Shall we just say a little thing? We know that we're not perfect with names, and we apologize about it. We try our best, but as you can imagine, on an episode like this and all the episodes that we go through, we have names from all around the world. So apologies if sometimes we're not perfect. We, as I said, we try to do our best, but hopefully you still get the message across anyway, and we're not offending anyone here.
Or we just get a little tongue-tied too. Yeah, so hopefully we're not offending anyone, and hopefully our words come out the way we hope they come out. But until the Grand Prix of France starts, we're going to take a little break, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of This Week in Skating. Remember, you can keep up with us throughout the week by visiting our website at www.thisweekinskating.com. Connect with us on social media for additional updates. You can find us on Twitter at This Week in Skating without the E's, or Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at This Week in Skating. You got a burning question or feedback for Gina, Daphne, or Matteo? Reach out to us via social media or drop us an email at thisweekinskating@gmail.com. And if you're really enjoying the show and want to support us further, consider joining our Patreon community at patreon.com/thisweekinskating. Until next time, have a nice week.